I'd never laid eyes on Pete Davidson before, nor have I ever set foot on Staten Island in all the time I've spent in New York City. Nobody has ever remotely recommended it, although I must say that one scene in The King of Staten Island shot at the local minor league baseball park affords so spectacular a view of Manhattan across the water beyond centerfield that I may have to take in a game there next time I'm in town. Happily, the distant scenery is not all Judd Apatow's new film has going for it, far from it. The director's first film since Trainwreck 5 years ago, written by him along with Davidson and Dave Sirus, has the solid lived-in feel of a working-class community in which everyone not only knows each other but pokes their noses into other people's business and has to tolerate, shall we say, less than well-mannered behavior on the part of their relatives and neighbors. They're rude, they're slobs, they're layabouts, they're no accounts, and they all speak in clichés as if they've learned their entire vocabularies from watching TV. It's a film full of characters who have to say "I'm sorry" a lot. Bottom line, though, they're all quite recognizably and vibrantly human. Related story: Pete Davidson movie, The King of Staten Island, pulled from handful of theaters by Universal as pick debuts on PVOD. Update: being an Apatow film also means that the people on view for an excessive 136 minutes are, for the most part, compulsively disputatious and often very funny. The king in question is Davidson's Scott Carlin, a 24-year-old, heavily tatted layabout who lives with mom Margie, Marissa Tomei, and sister Claire, Maude Apatow, the director's 22-year-old daughter, in a cramped suburban-style house. Fireman Dad died on the job on 9/11. Scott's ambitions soar no higher than becoming an apprentice at a tattoo parlor. Any thoughts of going to college are quashed by an old guy who warns him that Jimmy Hoffa, Bill Cosby and Donald Trump, among others, all partook of higher education. It takes a little getting used to Scott, none too bright, he's a slob, almost always contrary or uncooperative, has an excuse for everything and dares to profess no ambition. When he admits that, "I think I'm just stupid," one can think of no reason not to agree, although he does emit a certain sweetness that bubbles up through the cracks every now and then. And he does make his sort of girlfriend Kelsey, Bel Powley, happy in the sack. Satisfaction of that nature has not been the case for Margie for 17 years until she meets Ray, Bill Burr, a lively straight shooter who is, what else? A fireman. Combustion between them is such that it's soon suggested that Scott should move out and get his own place, triggering a reaction from him perfectly appropriate to 12-year-old. When the young man later loudly and proudly proclaims, "We are the millennials, you fear for the future of the very world."